Hey everybody, it's Chad Warren of the Adventurer channel. Hope you're well. I think this video is important that you see behind me. The role Alex Jones is now playing, Psychosis headline. So I'm pretty much going to state what it says so you don't have to watch something for 30 minutes. But I do like Quantum of Conscience. He thinks out loud, you know. I mean, as somebody who has paid attention to being critical of government, which is what it means to be a conservative, right? Um, Being aware that the most violence traditionally comes from governments against their own people, and somebody who certainly knew that 9/11 was an inside job. Those buildings imploded, and you know, that kind of a thing. I People that are critical, like myself, and our behavior and what the outcomes are from all this, and that's been for quite some time. But I agree. I'm sorry, I don't know this guy's name, but I agree 100% with what he's saying here, in that it's actually a very simple dynamic of psychology, occult psychology, that's being used against all of us, whether you identify with the political left or right or what country you're in or whatever. And again, the problem is that we don't ever fully grow up. We don't become independent. We live in a nanny state. Uh, you have a dark father figure, and you have this uh, dark mother figure. They're false examples of taking care of nature would be the feminine role, and using government to ensure that we have order and we liberate the best of ourselves. It's religion, right? That's the evil. It doesn't matter if you're talking about science or spirituality or business or government. There's a fake version of all of those designed on addiction and slavery, and that's the version that we have. So, specifically, Alex Jones, evidently, I haven't even seen, I mean, I've certainly seen him admit to acting crazy, but I have, maybe there has been an actual news event where he has admitted to psychotic behavior. But I agree with this guy's assessment but the way that's going to play out is that all the people that worship authority, they choose security over freedom and freedom of speech, and we're taking responsibility that we has on in Washington D.C. Well, we're in trouble. So on the left, I guess that would be people that are pro-government, they're going to label all of us crazy. And the right doesn't help because it's a fake version of conservatism, okay? Donald Trump is not really conservative. He used to support the Democrat Party and is friends with the Clintons. So he's like pro wrestling. It's like all of this is like pro wrestling. But if people don't understand how, you know, when the Bolshevik Revolution happened in Russia, do you think those people were weak and stupid? I think people act that way on the right, okay? And then Nazi Germany. Do you think those people were weak and stupid? In China are weak and stupid to allow tyranny? The people in North Korea? No. So we should be experiencing tremendous unity because we're all both attacked from the top and we're attacked by our own self-sabotage, which is programmed into us. Okay? So crazy is the majority position anymore. Right? So like this guy's saying, now that Alex Jones is being dismissed, that's giving carte blanche to say anybody critical of corporate government is a troublemaker that is threatening security and needs to be dealt with. There are attempts on the left and right to limit freedom of speech. The left says, oh, just for being white privilege, just by being born white. You know, it's government sanctioned racism. Racism is believing in the idea that you are white or black. That is a label that's put on you. What, you know, it's like, are you in a human chess game? You're a pawn. Are you a bishop? You know what I mean? All this wearing of these hats is the failure to identify as an individual, and then an individual is not totally separate from the whole of humanity, which is connected to the rest of biology and the immaterial, spiritual, quantum world beyond, obviously. So you can't, there already is a natural system, a natural order, a natural government, a natural business. We're all guilty from being farther away from that in an artificial, man-made construct. Okay? And these Zionist chaos magicians, they are angels, and that their goal is to destroy life because they don't see in it. Since, you know, we're trapped here, and it's confusing. It's difficult to understand that because, I mean, golly, I sure can agree with that as somebody that takes a Gnostic position like I do, meaning Christ is within you. You know, the difference between a Jesus type of character, whether he's real or not, versus the Old Testament God that is like mean to people, you know. So I don't know what value there is to this life. It does seem like a prison planet, which is a Gnostic concept, and which is the name of Alex Jones's show. So I hope that me being forthcoming in sharing the way I think reveals that there may be craziness built into existence itself beyond this orchestrated Masonic, you know, secret society occult thing that's Edward Bernays, the father of public relations and advertising, came up with that idea. Who was he? He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. Where did Sigmund Freud get his ideas? From Zionist Jewish mysticism. These concepts that you should definitely look into and are definitely woven into Christianity. In Psalm 119, it's got a letter code, you know, the idea that letters and numbers, that there is math, like in the Matrix when it shows those digits going down. Mathematics originally comes from the idea that everything is in order and that you can discern it. You know, everything, think about it, it's real simple. Either things happen randomly with no reason, or there's reason. You can't have, you know, how do you have both? reality. And these attempts to restore order by reducing liberty is itself crazy. So I don't have any solutions, but I think that just by kind of observing this phenomenon, if you feel that that's something you've already seen, and I'm just saying, mentioning, putting our attention towards that, then that itself can at least provide us some kind of unity between us in this agitated, fearful, confused state. We are confused. We are connected in a way that is anxious making. So I love you. Meditating, breathing, following that cycle, and then put in a connection to, I'm listening to this Jason Louv's Magician's Circle meditation. You breathe in certain counts, and then you focus on the top of your head, down to your feet, and up, and that is connecting your realization that your mind is so interconnected into your physical body that just by becoming aware of different parts of your body, it'll calm you down and make you aware that your anxiety in your mind causes your muscles to tense and hold stress. I used to do massage therapy. It's obvious that the two are linked. When you give people massage, they will have a cathartic release, and they may sometimes start crying. You know what I mean? Because we're all under trauma just by living. And so stress is a natural part of life, as is this chaos. It's probably what gives us the freedom to move. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want to be totally in order, or you'd be immobilized. There would be no life. So life has to go up and down through that. So, yeah, I encourage that meditation of Jason Louv's too, because I was surprised to notice that then he tells you, okay, focus on a time when you felt really confident and competent. So something that you did that you felt, feels great to do this, right? So it took me a while to even see that stuff well in my own life. And then you start making a goal, like what do you want to achieve this week? And the point is I noticed how hard it was for me to visualize those things. So that's a way you detect a problem and a solution. It shouldn't be that hard to get excited about what I have done, what I've received, what I've given, and what I'm doing now and in the future. So that's what we have power over, to affect all this. That's what you do about it. And that is a Kabbalah principle, which is a part of Zionism, that everything is mind, and it's magic. It interests me because it's such a part of our life. That's how you create anything, a business, a piece of art, you know. Yet it has tremendous implications, and there are people that are playing the whole world like a chess game. To start using this social media we are all cells in the same body politic, and if we don't actively focus on what we want to do and find some Vesica Pisces overlap with what other people are doing that we can agree with and go, oh, I can support that. If we don't act like the United States, that's a universal concept. I'm not talking about a nation. I'm talking about a nation in your mind. We have to proactively take action. So if you're ready to proactively take action, I would appreciate number one, let's learn how to network better. Go to Quantum of Conscience and watch this video and make a comment and say, I heard about your video from Chad Warren at the Adventurer channel. So that's going to link us together in a confederacy. Okay? Number two, I want you to go to Truth and you're going to sign up for my mailing list so that I have your name and email, right? I'm not going to bother you. You can unsubscribe at any time. But I want you to just reach out to me and say, hey, I like what you were saying, and I would like to cooperate with you. Here's what I'm interested in. What are you doing? And then you'll find out about live internet marketing training every Thursday. Okay? And that's from Franco, who's a member of Power Lead System, which is a set of tools like this. You can build any web page in 15 minutes or so. You can make a capture page. Think about something that you want to promote. Think about how we need to get away from social media as website. Okay? You need to learn how to raise money for your cause. You need to learn how to, say you want to start a community gardening program. That's what a militia should be. A militia should be people voluntarily going, if I don't help now proactively, then we're all going to have to deal with a civil war as things. This is all being designed to implode. The people that made America, these Masons, made it as a false example of freedom, right? So that they could just knock it down like they knocked down the buildings on 9/11, right? And then people will be so scared in such a psychological and real anxiety that they will ask for this dark father, this Darth Vader, and dark mother to rule. This false version of nature, this false version of. So whether you like it or not, I'm telling you, you're responsible. You're responsible. You are needed. You have value whether you like yourself or not. I'm somebody that's very angry about the failure that I feel my life is compared with how, it seemed like I would be very successful. I'm a nice guy. I don't take any crap. I'm intelligent. I'm hardworking. But I inherited money. And that was, from a young age, I was like, well, man, I'm going to have it easy. But what happened is that it's like a drug. In that I wasn't given the knowledge. I was spoiled as a child, which is common, whether you're rich or poor, or left or right, and I relied on that money, and I did college and government, and was probably right to do that, but I didn't have the discipline, I didn't have the skills to be in charge of myself and cooperate with others. So we need to take that angst and that fear and help this younger generation, like my son who's 9 years old, and the older people. They're just sitting there. They're all on social networks. We need to save them so that somebody will save us as we get older. Help. Thank you.